afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Raising Excellence. I'm Michael, the Opportunity Ambassador and MC for this kind of preview teaser show for Monday, our Wednesday show. And with me today are three of my favorite people. Agnieszka, Psychosomatic Illuminator.
Hello.
Say,
Hi, everybody. Sorry. I was just like, yeah, that's me.
Dennis, our Freedom Facilitator.
Blessed love and greetings, beautiful people. Glad to be here.
And Lee, our Wayfinder.
Hello, everyone. How you doing?
All right, so today we're just going to do a little bit of a preview, a little 10, 15-minute preview of the show that we've got putting together for Wednesday. And what are we going to call this show, Agnieszka?
Are we living in Nero's Rome?
Nero's Rome, what was that about?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to tell you guys on Wednesday, but you can look it up in the meantime. It was very interesting. I think that's good. You know, those people that want to, they can look it up. It's a very interesting story. There's fire and madness and music.
Oh, unlike
I
today.
think the idea is to kind of demonstrate the context that we may be living in our day and age as we see it now. There are times of craziness and there are times of less craziness, and apparently we're in one of those times. And what do we do about it?
So are you saying history is repeating
itself?
itself?
Can be learned.
Well, but more than that, because now we have the knowledge of, like, we have the connection of the internet, we have the knowledge of community, we have the understanding of individuality, and we can bring all those things together and protect our vibration and protect ourselves and stand up without fear, like be ourselves. You know, this is a great invitation to be ourselves.
As Lee puts it very well, Lee, you start your show with that idea of coming home. You want to repeat that for us, because I think that is significant.
Don't text the chat, Lee, because on live it just looks funny.
I got this thing with sharing information. So
Okay.
yes, there might be some people out in the world who are captured or feel they are imprisoned by the behaviors that they are locked into or the beliefs. And I want to send the message out that you don't have to remain in those places, in those traps, whether they are mental, physical, or spiritual, or financial, or nutritional. You have options, you have choices. And the rest of your human family would like you to know that you can come home. We would like you to come home. We would like you to rejoin us, come back to your human family, come back to the human race.
Yeah, and there's quite a few people who have experienced the batshit craziness to high degrees and are experiencing that. And it has been very empowering and encouraging, you know, to still be able to engage and to discuss and to exchange experiences, you know, about the times that we're living in, about the hardship and about the challenges that are there. And I feel, you know, one of the responses and one of the ways out of it is, you know, effective communication, is to learn to align with those and to know that there are others just like you know, who see it also, who see that the king doesn't wear any clothes, and, you know, who might be afraid to talk up or not. And, you know, there's some a little more brave who are actually like screaming out of their lungs already that, you know, the king is not wearing clothes. And there are others who kind of see it, but they're still kind of shy and afraid to voice it. And, you know, so wherever you are on your journey, you know, our role, I see our role as Raising Excellence also to, you know, to provide a platform and, you know, to tell you on one hand, you know, look, we are here and we are voicing our perspective on things. So we continuously invite you also to share your experiences and, you know, to guide the discussion and the topic with your input, with your comments. So of course we welcome, you know, your comments on Wednesday as well. And maybe you have, you know, some craziness to share as well, or maybe you have also found some ways to deal with it and, you know, to cope with the craziness that seems to be just, you know, That's out of proportion, at least for the little time I've spent on this planet for this life.
Well, some
So
some
sad.
might say that what we're experiencing is a mass neurosis, and there are potentially many different causes that contribute to mass neurosis, and certainly some of those might be nutrition, some might be lack of sleep, some might be the education model that we've adopted, some might be the conditioning and programming that the vast majority of the population has encountered. There might also be that idea of trauma in the background, as well as the spiritual nature that we may have lost by adopting a more modern lifestyle and separating ourselves from nature. So all those things could be contributing factors, and maybe there is a recipe that the ruling class or the people in charge or the powers that be utilize to kind of create the circumstances where they can bring people to uh, chaos and disorder with the understanding of creating a synthesis where they can move to the next model.
You mean like a
But that
formula that
seems to
they
be
keep using over and over and over in different iterations to continue to get toward the same outcome? Move
yeah,
toward the
indeed.
same outcome.
Being that we've seen this before in history, is for those of us that see to sing out what we see, so that people can you know gain from the knowledge that we may be able to bring to the table.
And maybe this chaos that we witness on the outside realms is really just a reflection of chaos within ourselves as well, and it is an invitation to come to an order, to an higher order of our own choice. And maybe if we do not make that choice, and the times that we're witnessing seem to really, there's not much space left in the middle of the road. So it seems like or you're on this side or you're on that side. And up to this point,
Not much space in the middle.
I think many people, they thought it was going to be possible, to not make a decision and to just, kind of sneak through and go with the flow in a way. But I think we are asked to really make a decision and to determine where we are, where we stand, and then live up to it as well. And so there's an order that they obviously want to implement, and whether that is the best one for us or not, we're going to discuss on Wednesday. And then also it will be interesting to see how the four of us have come up with our own ways and perspectives on how we order ourselves and how we organize ourselves in those times even. And maybe one or two or 100 of you guys also want to share some of your experiences, and then we can see how we can implement that and redesign and make it a greater a greater reset and a greater order than before.
Nice.
Something you said, Dennis, in regard to choice. Sometimes there's a false choice, and then there's a real choice. And in a lot of cases, I think that just the choice to say no, I don't agree to choose between two things that aren't really well defined or potentially in my best interest. And certainly that's, I think, one of the things that is really important as far as like giving people their dignity back, is that ability to say no to whatever choices are presented officially or by the authorities. In a lot of cases, there's edicts that are given where they're basically saying, well, you can choose to go to jail, or you can choose to do what we tell you to do. That's not necessarily a great choice.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
You want to go to jail, you want to go home from training day. Yeah. Those are your choices. And what you said about seeing, right? You can choose to see or not to see, or choose to be seen or not to be seen. You can leave your cell phone at home. You could go down into a cave. It would be very difficult for someone to see you deep below the earth, right? And some of us may want to reenact or rediscover rituals, some kind of things to help us deal with our daily lives.
And maybe just like within our own lives, things will repeat themselves because they haven't been resolved in the best possible way or in the proper way, you know. So if we're projecting ourselves back into Nero's Rome, it's like, okay, so if we're reliving that in a kind of way, maybe on a larger scale, you know, on a more futuristic scale in a way, then what is the way to deal with it, and how did they deal with it back then? And you know, was it good? Did it benefit them? And what happened back then? And how can we avoid the same thing from happening, or how can we do it better in our times right here and right now?
Yeah.
Well, with that said, this is just the preview. This is just a teaser. So we'll be discussing all those things and probably more stuff. But please feel free to join us on Wednesday. What is it? 4:30 Central Standard Time.
5:30 Eastern.
4:35. I'll say 4:35.
So 5:35 Eastern.
5:35 Eastern.
2:35 Pacific.
11,
Taiwan. Oh,
11:35 Amsterdam, Berlin time, and Taiwan.
It'll be 6:30 a.m. the next day in Taipei. Yeah. Yeah.
Morning breakfast show in Taipei.
Yes.
Nice.
Nice one. Talk to you on Wednesday then. Looking
Sounds
forward.
good. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.